Hello, hello, good morning, world. Yes, good morning, and welcome to the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. Thank you for tuning in with us as we embark upon what will be another great episode of our fifth season this morning. And so, yes, world, we are back like a shark attack, back like we left something, back like we ain't got no clothes on our back, and for the world is a better place when the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast is taking place. And so, we thank you for tuning in with us this morning as we conversate about the latest sports topics that have taken place from this past week and will be upcoming this week. It is always a blast to have you all tune in and participate with us every weekend. As a reminder that every week we always like to begin our podcast by reminding our audience that the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast can be found on Facebook via the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast community page, on Instagram, on IG at the Early Morning Sports Talk POD. Again, on IG at the Early Morning Sports Talk POD, as well as our own Facebook pages via Brandon Price, Jamar Goodman, and Jones, as well as our guest for this weekend, Mr. Corey Lockwood. Today is October 21st of 2023. We have seen yet again another fascinating week in the sports world, where we saw the MLB playoffs get heated, in which the Houston Astros and Texas Rangers finished a classic Game 5 last night, in which the Houston Astros, in the top of the ninth inning, hit a three-run jack through Jose Altuve to shock and silence the Texas Ranger crowd, and now take the third straight game, and now stand as one game away from returning back to the World Series. As well as last night, the Philadelphia Phillies dominating for most of the game. Arizona got out to a quick start, 2-0 in the third inning, second and third inning, one run apiece. And then after Philly, they had their run. They were up 5-2. And then a strong eighth inning from the Arizona Diamondbacks now allowed them to bring back momentum. In this series, when it was looking like it was just easily going Philadelphia's way, it's now 2-2. As well as Sunshine, I like to call him Sunshine, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are off to their best start since 2007 after taking care of the New Orleans Saints. The Frenchman and 7'5" NBA rookie sensation Victor Wembanyama continues the wild thus far this preseason, as well as the Las Vegas Aces. For the first time since 2002, back in those dominant Lisa Leslie days of the Los Angeles Sparks, became the first back-to-back WNBA champion, defeating the New York Liberty in what was it started off as a slow series, dominant from Las Vegas, but ended up as an all-time great WNBA finals to remember in what was a classic Game 4. And so, introducing our guest for this morning, Mr. Corey Lockwood. Corey is a veteran in the game, married with 2 children, works as an auditor, having now 17 years of experience. Corey has also been a ISHA basketball official for 20 years within the Officiate South and West Suburban Conferences. Corey is currently an assistant coach with grassroots basketball Nike Mean Streets and will be joining the TF South High School staff as assistant coach this year. He is also associated, Jamar, with our alma mater, Purdue University Northwestern, which when we were there was Purdue University Calumet, which is a part of the Purdue University system, for various seasons now through his church and doing campus ministry back at our own stomping grounds. He was born and raised on the south side of Chicago and is a huge fan of Chicago Sky, Chicago White Sox, and various sports teams. You can name them from the NBA to the NFL ranging, and is obviously heavy on high school basketball, local and nationwide. But most of all, as stated again, Corey is just a general sports fan and love all sports. And so, with that being said, good morning to our guest for this morning, Mr. Corey Lockwood. Good morning again to you, sir. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Pretty good, man. Yes, thank you for joining us. Absolutely.
Glad to be
Yes,
here.
yes. And so, with that being said, introducing my brother from another mother, and one of my partners on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, Mr. Jamar Goodman. Good morning, sir. How are you?
And I'm doing fabulous, man. How's everyone?
Great. Yes, absolutely. Yes. And we'll have our partner join us shortly, Mr. Ian Jones. And so, with that being said, let's get right into it, fellas. Let's get right into our conversation this morning. Let's talk about the WNBA Finals. And so, uh, Jamar, we'll start off with you, and then Corey, we'll go with you. Just want to know, guys, what was your thoughts from this WNBA Finals? What stories can you get from this WNBA Finals? And just, there'll be various things that could be said about Aja Wilson. I mean, she was the MVP, she was dominant. What can we say about her and her all-time greatness? Fellas, what can we say about the New York Liberty? What did they not do right? What did the Liberty do? I mean, what did the Aces do right? The Aces, are they the team that's up next? Y'all know what I mean by that. Are they a dynasty? So just curious, fellas, what were your thoughts from this WNBA Finals? What questions you got? What thoughts you got, etc. So let's begin with you.
Yeah, man. I mean, we all got the matchup that we wanted to see since the off season, since we are in the quote unquote super team era in the WNBA. The Liberty, for the most part, got the best of them in the regular season. But, the Aces definitely had other plans. Game 4 was electric. Aja Wilson, I mean, in a closeout game, 24-16, that's dominating within itself. Just all in all, honestly, I can't remember the last time we seen a back-to-back champion in the WNBA.
It was the Sparks, bro. Remember Lisa Leslie? That was the last time, 2002.
Yeah, and that's 21 years ago.
Exactly.
I mean, they have a chance to have that run, to have that dynasty, like the Houston Comets.
Exactly.
They have that chance. I mean, and they did this without Candace.
Mm-hmm.
Without Candace Parker. And I know she's in definitely towards the end of her career, but still, she when she's on the court, she is somebody you still got to pay attention to. So the fact they're able to do this, they have the coaching, they have the depth, they have the star power for sure. I guess, we'll see what the offseason brings as far as any personnel changes. But all in all, as long as the core is intact and you still have Aja Wilson, I mean, sky's the limit for real.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yes. Corey, know that you are a big WNBA fan. You even got a picture of Candace Parker with you on the sideline of a Chicago Sky basketball game. And so I'm curious, man, what were your thoughts from this WNBA Finals? You got any questions now for the future of, the WNBA, etc.? Just give me your thoughts, man, because I know you're big into this.
Man, just like Jamar was saying, this is what we expected from the beginning. Like I say, when everybody went, New York stacked the team. Like I say, when Candace joined the Aces, this is what was expecting to see these two. I guess the big thing, I guess that surprised me even for them all season, was that we only got one close game. All the games were pretty much lopsided until that last one. But Aces definitely stepped up. Being down 2 starters, like I say, plus Candace, for them to tough it out like that, especially with Kelsey Plum having a subpar game. I think she only scored like 7 points. But Aja Wilson, she showed exactly who she was. Like I said, she had the chip on her shoulder from not being voted the MVP. Then I guess the biggest part was just the fact that somebody actually gave a fourth place vote. It was it's like how can that happen? So she pretty much put the team on her back, and they put the ball in her hands in that third quarter when they were down 12, and she basically put the team on her back and came up big. And then on the other end with the Liberty, you had players like who was the MVP, Breanna Stewart, didn't step up. She had a very subpar game, going like 3 for 17, I believe. Then Jaquel Jones only scoring like 6 points as well, and Aja Wilson just having a way against her down low, taking her to the hoop. So that was it was, like I said, a great series. What we all wanted to see. Most likely, teams will most likely look the same next year, as long as everybody come back to the Liberty. I think the Aces got their contracts already. I think everybody already slated to be back. So most definitely building a dynasty over there on what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, fellas, I just want to state this. Breanna Stewart voted the WNBA MVP. I was watching literally the game, right, Charlene? So you see a lot of it's New York, right? They got a fantastic home court, right, fellas? I mean, it's like being in, just New York, man. Although it was the Barclays Center, it felt like Madison Square Garden. I kid you not, like in April. So I mean, they loud, obnoxious. It was very hard for Las Vegas. They literally, you could see when that buzzer went off, fellas, that they were like very like we escaped for real. We escaped the dog pound here. And Breanna Stewart, Fat Joe was literally doing an interview. He was saying, fellas, Breanna got to step up. She's the WNBA MVP. She got to step up. And Fat Joe predicted it right. She got the ball, y'all, at the last possession. She had a chance to score 70-69, right? Courtney Vandersloot, slide out to her. Jamar, Corey, she started out slow, but she came around once they got to New York.
Mm-hmm.
She get the ball, Breanna, but the thing that I love about the Aces, John, I want to shout this out, is their defense. They defend so well. And, Corey, me and Jamar, and we've stated it for years now that Breanna Stewart's kind of like the Kevin Durant of the WNBA. When she gets going, you can't really stick her. Like, she got that long lane, like that long arm. She's a tough defensive matchup. But the Aces, it didn't bother them at all. Jackie Young stepped up, and that's an unsung hero right there, Jackie Young, y'all. If
Definitely.
it wasn't for Jackie Young having Aegis back and being her Robin this series, who knows where the Aces would have been this entire playoffs. And so, legitly, you could see Jackie Young molding into that next level of being a superstar. And she should be a star, not just a role player at this point, Jamar. She should be a star, Jackie Young, for the Las Vegas Aces. But, the defensive prowess led by A'ja Wilson, who is a great defender. I think we always talk about her on the offensive end, but it's time to give that sister her flowers on the defensive end. And so this was a fantastic series, fantastic game for her. I hope to see it again. I just got one more question, fellas. We can begin with you, Jamar, and then you follow up, Corey. Should we begin is it a little early? Are we premature in mentioning A'ja Wilson? Or should we start mentioning her as an all-time great? Jamar.
I don't think it's necessarily premature, but I would like to see like how this plays out as far as this team's potential. I definitely want to see it play out, but as far as her, I don't think it's all the way premature. I mean, because her impact like lately has just been so dominant. It's like, how can you not like give her some type of flowers right now, right? So I don't think it's premature lately yet, but more so, I just want to see how this potential dynasty plays out for sure.
Yeah. Corey, what are your thoughts?
It's definitely not too early. Like I say, looking at the way she is beginning her career, she just finished a 6th season, and she's making an impact at 2-time champ, 2-time league MVP. I mean, defensive player of the year. So she's definitely putting an imprint, just kind of finishing where she left off at South Carolina. So she's just still doing that same thing. So she's definitely it's not too early to start mentioning her in that. Like I say, it's one of the top. Like I say, she still got time to go and get better. I say once she really develops that outside game even more, so the sky's the limit.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. A'ja Wilson, y'all, this woman defies a lot, and I'm very excited to see what she does and just see how other teams build to now be after the Las Vegas Aces. It kind of reminded me of that Warriors dynasty where you had KD and they were just really tough to stop. And this is obviously when they have Candace with them, when they have Kia Stokes, who was injured, and when they have Chelsea Gray, who was a walking bucket, the last year WNBA Finals MVP. They were all injured, and you still see the discipline that the Las Vegas Aces had over a really, really, really good team. That just shows you how good the Aces are. And so, shout out to Becky Hammon. Coach Greg Popovich had the biggest. He's like, yes, my assistant got another championship, and he was being interviewed, and so he was really, really excited about that. And so that Greg Popovich coaching tree always goes and does great things. So shout out to Coach Popovich. He is definitely one of the greatest coaches of all time. His damn self. And so yes. And so that covers the WNBA Finals or the classic WNBA Finals. Yes, we look forward to just seeing what happens more with that league as it grows. And so with that being said, let's now get to the NBA and let's talk about the Chicago Bulls, Corey. So I know that you are a Bulls fan. This is something we all got in common. We all see red, even though the podcast is blue. We all see red. And so with that being said, Corey, we got to ask you, man, what are your expectations for the Chicago Bulls this season? And then we'll get into some other WNBA teams. What's your expectations for the Chicago Bulls?
Well, let me start off. I'm not the biggest Bulls fan. I represent the Chi. I'm a lifetime Laker fan.
All right.
Lifetime Laker. So I had to put lifetime. So someone might think I just jumped on because of LeBron, because I'm actually not a LeBron fan, but I am a lifetime Laker fan. But as far as the Bulls, I think the Bulls going to stick around that play-in slots, like 7 through 10.
We all agree.
Yeah. They added some pieces, really pretty much defensive pieces. So I think they should be a better defensive team especially on the perimeter. We're adding Javon Carter, Torrey Craig. You already got adding that to Caruso. So you got guys that can that can defend. Like I said, Patrick Williams, he can defend. So I think they should be good on defense. But I think you're going to have to mix up some of those that second unit as far as adding some scoring out there. When you do start going to the bench, somebody got to be able to get a bucket. And so I think that's really what the Bulls come down to. They really didn't add that pure shooter that they needed they talking about increasing threes, but it's like, okay, where's that pure shooter? We know guys who can make them, but it's like, all right, can you knock it down consistently? And we know biggest thing with Zach, we know DeMar's the mid-range assassin, but Zach, he's going to force up a lot of those ill-advised threes. I think that's going to be an issue with the Bulls, his decision making. So I think a lot of that is his decision making in the fourth quarter down the stretch. Are you willing to still kind of take the back seat on them last second shots when DeMar is hot and he's knocking it down, or you want to be the man to go ahead and force it up? So I think them, and actually, depending on how they start off, the season can be over real quick for them, because if they start off slow, they really may start looking into their trade market and trying to get rid of DeMar DeRozan and
or Zach, right?
Zach, yeah.
This is facts, yeah. And when you mention that pure shooter, I keep thinking of Kobe White, but he's not consistent enough.
Right.
Kobe had a really good play-in, and he's just volatile. But when he's on, he can be nice. But he hopefully could be more of an answer to us having that pure shooter. If Kobe White steps his game up, the Bulls could be a really, really decent team that could be a little bit dangerous in the East. And I'm talking about towards those big guys. But a lot of it depends on Kobe. And so, yeah. Jamar, you again stated your Bulls' expectations were what again? That they would be.
So their ceiling is a second round exit. That's their ceiling. Realistically, you're probably looking first round play in. It goes back to me, the point guard position, which hasn't been the same since Lonzo Ball. When Lonzo Ball played them 29 games, the Bulls was the number one seed. The Bulls offense actually was fluent. The defense, the perimeter defense was ferocious. It was a lot of continuity going on. But Without it, it's been, DeMar gets a turn, LaVine gets a turn, right?
Right.
We know that DeMar's ceiling on offense is steady. Like we know what we're gonna get out of DeMar each and every game. He's more consistent. LaVine, we saw it in two tails of the play-in tournament, right? In Toronto, he was he was fantastic. When it came to that Miami game, he was nowhere to be found. So is more so consistency with him, more so consistency, like you mentioned, Brandon, with Kobe White. Can he be that guy that can take pressure off of both of those, be that shooter that we really don't have? That was one of the two biggest flaws for the Bulls last year. One of them was just shooting, like basically at the bottom of the league, 3-point shots, pure shooting percentages, whatever you want to call it. So it all depends there. We'll see. Like Corey mentioned, they added defensive pieces, so hopefully that creates more possessions for us and limits for the other team. But I just want to see who's going to be the person that steps up. This is year 3 in this regime right here, so this is like now or never.
Right, exactly. And so yes, fellas, thank you for that. And Corey, my bad. I thought I read the Bulls, but I know I read Chicago Sky. But hey,
Yeah.
NBA expectations. I do my homework, baby. All right.
Real quick though, real quick. Since you are a lifetime Lakers fan, what are your expectations for the Lakers this year then?
That's what we was headed.
Expectations for the Lakers. I'm looking at them to be top three in the West. With the pieces that they added, most definitely. I got a complete team now, which is something that I've been looking for. They like to try to do the 3 and 4 star thing, but we know that was a bad experiment with Russ. But you see, once they got rid of him and added the other pieces that they need a bit, and even this summer, I think Pelinka went out and did a good job with the pieces that they added. So definitely looking at them. We know the biggest question mark, which any team, is health, but we know with AD it's even that much, even more. If he can stay healthy, especially with Bron being in year 21, or how many years it is now, health is going to be a factor. But with the pieces they added, I think even with them guys missing some games, they could pretty much stay afloat. So I'm definitely looking for them to be a top three seed right now, and they start the season off with, I think, the Nuggets and Phoenix back to back. So definitely be a good measuring stick right out the gate.
Yep. They start out with Phoenix, and so that's gonna be really nice. It was nice to see KD and LeBron the other day. Actually, that was the first time they played in 5 years since the NBA Finals in 2018, and so yeah. And so you mentioned the Lakers, the number 2 and the number 1 seed. I'm imagining you are saying is maybe Phoenix and Denver. Those probably your 2 seeds, or
I'm thinking Denver and Phoenix should be up there, and like I say, Lakers should be right there with them.
Okay. Yep. And you got Jamar is a big Clippers fan. So the Clippers could be dangerous. The Warriors got CP3 now. And so, can the Warriors be a decent team? Can they come back and win that championship? They every other year they tend to, be a dangerous team. And Andre Iguodala, he was on First Take yesterday. He announced his retirement. Great career. Shout out to Andre Iggy. And he mentioned, the Warriors as being a potential dangerous team, especially now that they got, CP3, great point guard. He takes a lot of pressure off Steph now, etc. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how the Warriors rock in that Western Conference. And so I want to ask you this, Corey. This is a big question that everybody's asking now. The Eastern Conference got two juggernauts. Mm-hmm. And so, Jamar loves Milwaukee. I like Boston a lot. Curious to know, if you had to choose between one of these teams right now, which team do you think is the best team in the Eastern Conference, and who is your favorite?
I think Boston. I think Boston, because I do root for Boston. I did put that down. I root for Boston because I'm a Duke fan, so I'm gonna ride with Tatum. But then, so looking at the pieces they had, actually, once they started getting rid of some good pieces for the team. It's like, okay, Brad, which way we going? But it's like, okay, Porzingis, as long as he's healthy, I can do that. As soon as Milwaukee traded Drew, I said they gotta have him. I said they got it. And once they made that happen, I think that put them to the top. When Milwaukee added Dame, it was like, okay, yeah, y'all might be the top of the East. But then once Boston added Drew, it's okay, y'all back to the top now. So you can go out there with Drew, Jalen, Tatum, Porzingis. I think that's a lot of firepower right there to put them at that top of the East. So that should be enough for them to get over the hump. They just got to go out there and act like it when it comes down to those finals. Just step up, take care of the basketball.
Right.
Jaylen Brown in particular.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Hey, Jamar, I'm just curious, bro. If we're looking at the Eastern Conference, for example, if we're looking at the Western Conference, and we'll go with you next, Corey. If you had a sleeper team that could disrupt Boston and Milwaukee, which team do you think that could be in the Eastern Conference?
Whew. I mean, I guess we can say the good old Miami Heat. I mean, I guess we've seen it before multiple times now. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can never, count Miami out. Like I've been saying, first round exit or a championship contender, and they did the latter last year. They took advantage of every opportunity, and we've seen Jimmy Butler like the third coming of Michael Jeffrey Jordan out here for a second. So you can never count them out. But I would say maybe.
Come on, I know you hit it.
Maybe I might say the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Exactly. You took the words out of my mouth.
I might say the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, like on paper last year, they actually looked pretty good. They just needed some playoff experience because they really, with that core, they haven't been there.
Yeah.
And they got it against New York. New York really, handled business there. But Darius Garland from the area here. I mean, he's like star power waiting to happen here. Of course, we know what Donovan Mitchell is. It's just more so for him, like when it matters most, I just need to see him do it. He just need to take that next step when the games matter most. So that was a thing there. But more so when you have, Jared Allen and who's the other center?
Mobley.
Yeah.
Mobley. You got now Max Strus from the Heat.
Yep. Strus. You got that going on.
Yeah.
You still got Karis LeVert, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So you have you have a lot of depth. You have a lot of, players now that can put the ball in the basket. So it is more so, and they have excellent coaching on top of that. So if they can, take that next leap, they can have matchup problems with other teams, the bigger teams in the East, if everything plays at that high level, if everything can just click at the right time, they can be that dangerous team in the East.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Corey.
I mean, I think he pretty much named the two that I probably would say, because you never could count Miami out. We see they always make the run, like say Spoelstra, being one of the top coaches in the league. He always gonna figure out a way to get guys to put them in the right place and get them to come together. So you can never count out the Heat. And like I say, Cleveland got tools. They got tools on their team to. I think like he already kind of talked about with Donovan, biggest thing is for Donovan Mitchell, I think really just to start sharing when it comes down to it. He tried to take it upon himself a lot of times, but he's just going to have to start sharing the ball, because we know Darius Garland can shoot the ball, and you got bigs inside who you can look to get those easy buckets. Like I say, you got Jared Allen is always available for the lob, and Mobley available for the lob in the mid-range game. So, like I say, now they added some pieces which should make it easier for Donovan to get some easier shots because now you got some outshot shooting. So
Yep.
if guys if they do help, then you can kick it to them. But if they stay connected to guys like Strus, then you should have some more room to get to the rim and finish. So yeah, they should be right there in that fourth slot. It should be able to slide up.
Yeah. And good morning, bro. We talking about that. We talking about potential sleepers within the Eastern and Western Conference. And so
Yeah, I've been
Cleveland's
listening. I've
been
been listening.
yeah. Cleveland and we mentioned Miami. So just curious, bro, if we had a sleeper that could interrupt this Boston Tea Party along with Milwaukee, which squad do you think could interrupt that proposed conference finals that we all supposedly be looking forward to right now?
I agree with Jamar. Cleveland. To me, I think only, in my opinion, I think only Cleveland. I think everybody else is pretty much middle of the pack. Like after, I don't know if Miami gonna have it like last year. I think, that was just a special run and went on.
Okay.
Um, all other teams are just pretty much middle of the pack or, not even on that level. Like, they was the Bulls, Indiana, just all
Yeah.
these other teams. I mean, it's a pretty decent drop off from those top three, four teams. I mean, I feel like it's a drop off from from Philadelphia because
Right.
who knows what happens with the James Harden situation. I don't even expect him to be there. Maybe next week or within the next coming week. So I mean, really, it's just those three teams, but I think Cleveland could surprise some people.
Yeah. Yep. Philly losing James Harden is big too. Really big. So yeah, but our commenter, good morning. He stated to not sleep on New York. So good morning. Stated do not sleep on New York. They bothered both Boston and Miami last season in both regular season and playoffs. Yeah, I mean they took them 6 games. New York and Tom Thibodeau. We know Thibodeau. He coached the hell out of that series to the last second.
Yeah, for sure.
He coached that series to the last second. And so Tom Thibodeau is going to try to make a statement. We can all see that as Bulls fans, and even Corey being in Chicago, we know how Tom Thibodeau works. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how the New York Knicks do. That's a good one. Fellas, let's now transition to the Western Conference. And so if you had to pick a favorite out of the Western Conference, y'all, let's just go with that. Who would y'all pick as a favorite? Because a lot of people might say Denver, but could there be somebody else that could take Denver out? So, Corey, let's begin with you, Jamar, and then Ann.
I would say being the defending champs, I would still have to put them as the favorite. Like I said, I try to take my bias out of it. I think they will be the favorites because of the continuity, just the way they play basketball. They come out and play, sharing and playing the right way with what looks a lot of times basic, but it's just simple fundamentals the way they just play. But I do think they lost some key pieces with Bruce Brown and Jeff Green, some key pieces off the bench that they probably will miss. But with the firepower, they say that Phoenix have, they probably should be the favorite just off of just the offensive firepower. And they did get some. They were lacking the depth, but they did pick up some depth, some bench players in that trade they made. So I think Phoenix, probably just to keep my bias out of it with the Lakers, I think Phoenix probably would be the favorites.
Okay, yeah. But if you had to choose a team that you wanted to win the Western Conference, it would be the Lakers. You would want to see them.
Oh, it's gonna be the LA, yeah.
Yeah. And so, Jamar, let me actually hit you with a different question, bro. You and Ian. If you had to find a sleeper that could potentially dethrone the Denver Nuggets, what squad you think could dethrone the Denver Nuggets? or what team do you think that could knock them out potentially from in that second round, from making the conference finals, or from making, the expectations a lot of people got from them? Is it a little small team, a little small market city we ain't thinking about?
Take your pick. You got plenty to choose from in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, would you consider Sacramento a sleeper team, even though there was a 3 seed last year?
I think that's a team that could very well put a wrench in those plans for Denver.
They definitely can. I mean, a healthy New Orleans team can definitely do some things.
Definitely who I would say.
I mean, maybe a Memphis Grizzlies team with a hit on straight Ja Morant these days, and Marcus Smart and Derrick Rose. It's Minnesota. I mean, I'm in love with Anthony Edwards. I'm not like Brandon. I know me and you was Anthony Edwards. I was LaMelo Ball. I get you crap for that just playfully, but Anthony Edwards is that dude, man. He is. Like in all honesty, and just throw a dart. Close your eyes, throw it at the dart, because I feel like any one of those teams, if healthy and if playing at the right time, can cause a lot of wrinkles in this Western Conference. There's a lot of good coaching with those teams, a lot of defense being played with some of those teams, and a lot of hungry players and fan bases that's ready to, take over the throne here. There's plenty.
Right. Yeah. And bro, your thoughts?
I mean, Jamar's correct. I mean, it's gonna be some furniture moving around in the West. I'll even say with, depending on how he played, depending on how Chet Holmgren played, you could even almost throw OKC in there.
OKC.
Like you said, Sacramento. I mean, people might look at them as a sleeper, but they were number 3 seed last year. To be honest, nobody's really talking about them. The Warriors could be a sleeper. That's crazy, right? I mean, they went on this dominant run.
Yeah.
I mean,
what about a Clippers team? I mean, the Clippers.
Yeah, the Clippers. I mean, the Clippers. The Clippers not really a sleeper to me. It's every year. It's a health thing. They got they got this roster, healthy, man. Yeah, man. I mean, anything is possible with those guys. I mean, the West is gonna be crazy in the West, and it seemed like most of the time it's really like that in the West all the time. But I think this year is anybody could come out the West. I mean, my favorite is still Denver. Got to dominate the champs. You got to beat them still, but man, they gonna have a hard time in that West, man. With Bradley Beal coming over there in Phoenix. Yeah. You still got the Lakers. The Lakers are like lengthy. The Lakers are long. They are long. The Lakers are long. Yeah. I think they have one player under 6'4", and that's Gabe Vincent. Everybody else is 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 6'10", 7 feet. They long. So, I mean, like you say, you got the Clippers. Still got Kawhi. You got PG.
Russ playing out his mind now. He look like he back.
Yeah, Russ comfortable. Russ is comfortable in that road end over there. I mean, it's so many teams. And Chris Paul with the Warriors. I'm not even a big Warriors fan, but I'm really excited to see how that's going to be crazy. Just to think about Chris Paul throwing Steph Curry passes to shoot threes. Who would ever thought that would happen? So I'm excited to see that. I mean, and what's gonna happen with these Suns? How these Suns gonna look? How's Bradley Beal gonna look at the one? That's a big point guard, young and in his prime too. So the West gonna be something else, man. Even they All-Star game picks, like it's gonna be a couple dudes that ain't gonna make the All-Star game because so many dominant players in the West.
So many good players.
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy in the West. So it's gonna be exciting. The West is gonna be exciting, and like the East. I mean, we basically know the the three East teams is gonna be, Milwaukee, Boston, and maybe Philly, but really Milwaukee and Boston. Oh,
Right.
and Cleveland as a sleeper, but
Yeah.
that West,
That West is
man,
open.
yeah, man, that
Yeah,
West, yeah,
definitely.
Big
that West
playing
is,
field.
yeah,
All
for
right.
sure.
And so that's the consensus, y'all. We got this morning on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. That West is wide open, like a wide open football field. Just take your pick. And so,
I
yeah, we
forgot.
got.
I even forgot one more team. I forgot about Dallas with Luca and
Oh,
Kyrie.
come on,
I,
that's true.
I
Luka
forgot
and
about them.
Kyrie.
I forgot about those guys. But go ahead. Go ahead.
No, bro, you mentioned it. You mentioned in the squad. Somebody even said the Houston Rockets. I'm joking. Nobody said
But I am excited to see them play this year,
It
though.
should be
I
better.
Yeah,
really
they're
am.
young. They're young.
Yeah, y'all know
Yeah.
who I'm excited to see play. And so, Corey, I stay in Guadalupe, French Island. Man, I have watched
Wemby.
this kid, Victor Wembanyama. Have
Yeah. I
y'all
mean, what
seen
if?
this kid?
Yeah. What if he turned out to
It looks
be?
unreal. It just looks like a damn video game.
Yeah. What if he turns out to like really be that next guy that the NBA is looking for? I mean, and he got Greg Popovich coaching him, so I don't know. The West, like I said, the West is exciting, man. The West is what's gonna make the NBA exciting this year for sure.
Yeah, because you got to remember the Pelicans were in the number one spot before Zion went down
Exactly, and they so
Exactly.
young.
Mm-hmm.
with Brandon
This is fact.
Ingram and
Yeah,
CJ.
Yep.
Man, if Wemby is that guy, it's going to be a lot of players who we thought that was going to have next, not have next anymore.
Yep.
and
Because it's
that's
gonna be hard for them to score. It's gonna be hard. Like
and that's gonna want to go over there and play with him too.
probably two. That's facts.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Ian. That's a really good point. Because if he is 7'5", man, he can shoot the three, man. He out there just dunking from the free throw line. I'm like,
He can
damn, like,
dribble.
yeah,
It's
but it
crazy.
wasn't like he was like barely touching the rim. He dunking it easy. I'm like, what you gonna do with that? Like, and so it just as this kid develop, it's gonna be super scary for the NBA. And it's gonna be like, wow, like I've never seen somebody that can do what he can do. But that makes the
Yeah.
Western Conference, that make the NBA, that makes all this just that much more exciting. And so, yeah, man, just good stuff, man. Just good stuff. And so, yes, well, that includes our NBA expectations. NBA season kicks off this week. And so expect some great games. Phoenix, LA, Denver kicks off their championship. And so it's going to be a lot of great games as we see the NBA season kick off. Let's go Bulls. And so we'll see how all these squads fare out. But the NBA season kicks off this week. All right. So, fellas, let's now progress to the NFL. So, Corey, this is an all sports podcast, and we make our picks and we do what's called NFL reactions and overreactions. So we'll start with Jamar, we'll go it in, and then we'll follow with you, Corey. And so, fellas, is it an overreaction to think that the Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa could win both the NFL Most Valuable Player as well as the NFL Comeback Player of the Year this season? Is that an overreaction, Jamar?
I don't think so. The only part I'm hesitant on is the comeback player of the year part, but I get why you mentioned that because the amount of games he missed last year. Because it's like we saw a sample size last year before the injuries. We and it's crazy because we didn't. A lot of people didn't even like pick this team at the beginning of the year to be as dangerous as they are. But yeah,
Right.
we saw it last year. But we just basically, I guess a lot of people got scared because like maybe Tua can't play ever again. But yet, here he goes. This team is dangerous. You gotta drop at least 30 to have a chance with this team. He's playing lights out. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's overreaction, man.
Wow. Yeah.
No, not an overreaction at all. They are the NFL track. They should be the NFL track team right now.
Yeah.
They are like super explosive. Like it's scary. And even with A Chain is injured. I don't know when he's coming back, but they got guys injured, and they
Raheem
still
Mostert,
just
yeah,
yeah, they just
don't miss a beat.
still they haven't missed a beat. So, and I mean, they haven't even got Jalen Ramsey yet. Probably not gonna get him till later on this year. So, I mean, it's looking up for them. If they don't make the AFC Championship game, it's a problem. Seriously.
Mm, mm, yeah, man, you just got me hungry, man, for looking at this matchup that'll come up soon.
Sunday
Um,
night
So
with the beat
hey,
against the Eagles. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. But also, man, even after that, it's a big matchup between
Kansas
Kansas
City,
City and Miami.
Kansas City.
That's November
Mm.
4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Is
can't wait
Kansas
for
City
that
going
one.
is Kansas City gonna have enough to keep up?
And this is a question, but people still got them as a favorite because they like, oh, Patrick Mahomes. And sorry,
Yeah.
y'all, for our
Man.
ADHD moment right here, but like Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback in the NFL. But now Miami, the way they look they look like they'll whoop the hell out of Kansas City. That's just what it
Yeah.
looks like.
Two players can't beat the whole team.
Yeah, Tyreek, he found himself a new girl, found himself a new quarterback.
He
Is she
told
better
us
than the
though.
ex?
He told us. He
He
told us
did.
though. He told us, and we laughed and we thought he was capping, thought he was playing around, thought he was just talking crazy. And look at him now.
Yeah, you're right. He did tell us.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And so, Corey, is this an overreaction to think that the Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa could win both the NFL Most Valuable Player as well as the NFL Comeback Player of the Year award?
No, it's not overreaction. Tua, that's my guy. From Bama, so that's why I'm really looking forward to this weekend with Tua and Jalen Hurts. But no, definitely not overreaction because he's leading the league right now with passing, probably yards, tied as far as touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So like I say, as long as he can stay healthy, as long as we can get him an extra big cushion helmet, we'll be, they'll be all right. I can say, long because he got the weapons around him. I think the coach tailored the offense to his strengths. I can say, so as long as he can throw them darts to Waddle and Tyreek and just let them do the rest after they catch it, then it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not an overreaction.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, fellas, let's stay in the AFC East. Is it an overreaction to think, Jamar, that the New York Jets, regardless of having a great defense, because the Jets, they seem to get up and play. Number one, I want to point for the last 2 weeks, and you've been on point. The Jets have looked great, and it's been because of Zach Wilson. When he plays well, they play well. They win. But the defense is the consistent part here with them. That defense shows up every week. And so I'm curious, fellas, to know, is it an overreaction to think that the New York Jets season as well as their success will be determined by the play of their starting quarterback, Zach Wilson? Jamar.
No, it's not an overreaction. I mentioned a couple times the Jets had the hardest schedule the first 6 games of the year. And they had to, with Aaron Rodgers' injury, they had to at least go 500 here to have a chance. And he did that. But also, I would say that, Aaron Rodgers being on the sideline with a headset on probably helped him out too, big time. Because they said that he was the one suggesting play calls and stuff. And I firmly believe that. This is Aaron Rodgers' offense, not Nathaniel Hackett, because apparently that didn't work in Denver. This is Aaron Rodgers making decisions within that playbook. So therefore, as long as Zach Wilson can protect the football, use the weapons around him, just do enough to win the games, this Jets team, you cannot write them off just yet. I know we was, thinking so, force plays into the season, but no, that defense would keep them around until at least December. We'll see how it goes from there, but the schedule should be a lot easier going forward. So therefore, they have an opportunity to actually do something. And remember, Zach Wilson is on the same clock as Justin Fields and the rest of these people in this class. Like, this is, do or die moment for his career too. So I'm pretty sure he has every motivation to play well.
Yeah. And, bro, is it an overreaction to think that the New York Jets' success will be heavily determined by the play of their starting quarterback, Zach Wilson?
No, not at all. They're gonna go as far, basically as he takes them. I would like to see them, let them kind of spin it and, throw the ball down the field a little bit more. Um, but no, I mean it's not overreaction. They're gonna go as far as Zach Wilson takes them. I mean the defense. It's only so much the defense can do. You can't win. You need both sides of the ball. Really, all three aspects: special teams, defense, and offense. As we seen in Chicago, we seen it. In all type of football. You need all three aspects to win. So, and in my opinion, I just want them to let them throw the ball a little bit more down the field, and I know they try to really rely on Brees Hall a lot, to kind of keep the ball out of his hand to kind of manage the game. But I mean, let him spin it a little bit. I think he'll be okay. Not to say that he'll be perfect, that he won't turn the ball over. I mean, every quarterback turn the ball over. That's going to happen. So I think they'll be okay. Now, will they make the playoffs? That's a stretch, but I think they'll be fine. I think the defense puts them in a lot of good positions, and I think they've been pretty smart so far. Just let them throw the ball downfield a little bit more.
Okay, yeah. And just shout out to Garrett Wilson. I mean, he be catching some passes that
Yeah,
just
man,
be
he catches some.
amazing. He had
Yeah,
a catch last week. It looked unreal.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a very, very talented wide receiver. Corey, yes, is it an overreaction, sir, to think that the New York Jets' success of their season will be determined by the play of their quarterback, Zach Wilson?
No, I don't think it's overreaction. Just pretty much like everybody pretty much saying, as long as he can be a game manager for the most part, and like I say, not have those untimely turnovers. I guess that's the biggest thing. Those untimely turnovers. I don't think it's overreaction.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Yes, let's now progress, fellas. Is it an overreaction to think, Jamar, that the Detroit Lions might actually have a more explosive offensive production than the mighty San Francisco 49ers?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's an overreaction. Not saying that Detroit can't score points because their strength is the offense. The defense is solid, but the strength is the offense of that team. However, last time I checked, I don't see a Christian McCaffrey on that team. Last time I checked, I don't see a Debo that's snatching chains out there on my team. I don't see a Brandon Ayuk, even though Amon-Ra St. Brown is pretty darn good. But I believe that the Niners offense, and I don't see a Kyle Shanahan either on the Detroit Lions coaching staff either. The Niners offense is explosive when healthy, more explosive by far.
Okay. Okay. And your thoughts, bro? Detroit got weapons, man. They got a whole lot of.
Yeah, they do. Got one off former weapons and David Montgomery. I cringe every time I see him in that five. But it looked like it was meant to be over there. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Mhm.
No, they not as just as explosive as the 49ers. Now, but you know what? I think they're close though. But when I say they is explosive, no, I think, and I'll say this, I think the 49ers are probably more explosive only because of their offensive play call. I think Kyle Shanahan, his offensive scheme is just
Yeah,
awesome. He can put anybody back there,
he's a wild
and
card here. Yeah.
yeah, they'll perform. So I do think they're close. I actually think Jared Goff is probably a better quarterback than Brock Purdy. Um,
Yeah.
but then certain things offset. Like they got Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery, but they got Christian
Who's this
McCaffrey.
Jamal Williams guy? Damn, he explosive, whoever he is.
Now Jamal Williams is in
You mean Jameson Williams?
Jameson
Jameson
Williams.
Williams.
Oh,
This
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, from Alabama.
for Alabama,
Remember the
Yeah,
kid from
Alabama.
Alabama? Yeah,
he would have been a first round pick before that ACL.
Yeah.
yeah.
right.
Well, he would have been a top five pick. He was still a first round pick. He would have been a top
Yeah,
five
right.
pick. He turned messed up his ACL. Also from the Ohio State as well too. but But yeah, I think they're pretty equal, like talent wise. Like they got some receivers. Amon St. Brown. They got
Yeah.
Josh Reynolds, Marvin Jones.
Hmm.
Jameson Williams is healthy now and off
Was
suspension.
it betting he was doing? I think he was betting. I think.
Yeah. Sam Laporta, the tight end, he looks awesome. It's like an awesome pick for Detroit. And then I mean, you go on the other side, they got Brandon Ayuk, Debo Samuel, George Kittle. Now the O line, I might get an edge to the 49ers, but I mean if you think about it, they're pretty close in talent. I think the key is Kyle Shanahan. So it's not far fetched to say, but they gotta get a little bit more time in. But it's not far fetched to say though. The talent is there for sure. It's almost pretty equal to be honest.
Yeah. Jamar, you gonna say something, bro? Okay. Corey, what's your thoughts? Is this an overreaction?
Just slightly. And then just pretty much just kind of looking at the numbers. Detroit was only a few slots below 49ers right now as far as offense. I think I've seen that the 49ers are like second, Detroit was fifth. So I think it's not a big overreaction, just maybe just a slight overreaction. I think, but the Niners do got that edge.
Right. Yeah. And we always do our last overreaction with the laugh. Jamar, is it an overreaction to think that the Tennessee Titans, one of your favorite football teams, with one of your favorite quarterbacks, have one of the worst quarterback situations in the National Football League today?
Come on, man.
Absolutely.
We've been talking about this for like 3 years now. Come on, man. Look, Ryan Tannehill.
No, you said the wrong name.
I'm sorry, Ryan Trasherhill. I'm sorry, Trasherhill. My gosh, I could write a whole book about how I feel about the Tennessee Titans quarterback situation. Hey, look, none of them are. I feel like NFL. None of them are NFL starters. 2 of them aren't even NFL ready. You basically wasted Derrick Henry's prime. You wasted AJ Brown's prime. You traded him away. He came back and destroyed the team and got the DM fired. You already know how I feel. I'm gonna leave it alone. I could be here for like another 20 minutes.
Brandon started stuff early this morning.
He is, man. You already know how I feel.
Bro. What are your thoughts here? We need your thoughts.
It's the GM get fired for me, man. That's crazy.
You mention that every week, don't
he? Got fired the next day. He got fired
the next day. Yeah, I remember. It's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, man. I mean,
Jamar at this point got a full routine when we talk about the Titans. He say the same thing every week.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with Mike Vrabel in this quarterback situation. I mean, hell, if I was them, I'd be tanking and try to get Caleb Williams. And Derrick Henry. That'd be something. That'd be something to build on.
They better hope they don't lose him during the offseason, bro. Because
Derrick Henry,
if you Derrick at that point, you probably starting to get frustrated with that organization. I thought he would have been frustrated 2 years ago, Jamar, after Cincinnati and what Ryan Trasherhill did in that game and lost him the game. Yeah. I thought he would have been pissed off then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what his contract situation is, but I mean, at this point,
it's up after this year. They got to renegotiate after this season, bro.
And I'm hearing that they fielding trade offers for this man before the deadline. So.
I mean, you better get something for him because they missed the window that they had is missed. I mean, you think about it. They was in an AFC Championship game a couple years ago and played a damn good game. They should have beat the Chiefs.
Yep.
But I mean, it all comes down to quarterback play.
Yep. Quarterback-driven league. Yep. Corey, your thoughts, man?
Man, it's definitely not an overreaction, but I looked at somebody else whose quarterback situation may be worse in the Steelers. So they all down there at the bottom. Most definitely at the bottom. Like I said, I looked at the Steelers. They may be just as bad though in their quarterback situation over there with old Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky.
Yikes.
Okay. Yeah. And so, All right. And so, yes, world, that includes our NFL reactions and overreactions. And so, fellas, listen up. World, listen up. There are some notable college football matchups that is happening today. We got a number of great games that is taking place. Undefeated number 7 Penn State. What a disciplined football team this is. And shout out to Mr. Franklin. He's doing a great job, y'all, up in Happy Valley.
Very
They
good
are happy
job.
because they winning.
Very good
Yes,
job.
but they are at number 3 Ohio State in. So they are at number 3 Ohio State. This is Big Ten championship game implications. We got a number of great teams in the Big Ten, even starting with baby Maryland. Okay. We know about Ohio State. We got Michigan. We got Penn State. It's a very competitive conference, and this is a big game today. 17 Tennessee at 11 Alabama. Of course, we know the SEC has been the cream and the crop of college football for years. But it's now beginning to be a question, y'all. Are they the best conference in football now? Because you got a lot of talent in the Big Ten, y'all fellas, right?
Yep.
And you got a lot of talent over there in the Pac-12.
Yep.
Whole lot of it. All right. 16 Duke at 4 Florida State. Duke quarterback stated they trying to win the national championship. Okay. He stated they ain't trying to just be a basketball team. They trying to win a national championship in football. They at number 4 Florida State today. 14 Utah, 18 USC. Caleb Williams, it was rumored, y'all. He asked for ownership of the team that he would be drafted by. And some people commented that, hell no, not after how you played against Notre Dame last weekend.
I got
So,
a big take. I have a big take on Caleb Williams, but that's
Uh-oh.
for another day.
Ian.
okay, you remember we got Ian's basement. And so, yes, 14 Utah, 18 USC. We'll see how he do. This is the projected top draft pick in the NFL draft. Air Force, number 22, y'all at Navy. That's always a big game. It's a very important game, right?
Yeah.
Air Force at Navy, number 22, as well as 2 Michigan at Michigan State. All right. And so
Hey, real
let's go ahead, Jamal.
real quick. Hey, Ian, I heard Penn State gonna come in the horseshoe and beat the brakes off your team today. That's what I heard.
I don't know about that one.
I'm just telling you what I heard. That's all. I'm just a messenger.
It should be a good game though, for sure. It should be a good game.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big game. Definitely looking forward to that one. Absolutely. Fellas, y'all, let's now progress to baseball. So, Anthony, if you're still with us, man, you know, you've been watching, obviously, a great championship series in both the National and the American League. Yesterday, Texas dominated the game, man. They up, 9th inning, 2-2. You know, Houston came back, won 2 games in a row. Texas, chance to go up 3-2, be 1 game away from the World Series. And then little old Jose Altuve come up, and he knocked it out the park for a 3-run home run. Hurt Texas heart, hurt the city of Arlington, Texas heart. And now the Houston Astros and Dusty Baker stand at now being 1 game away from winning the American League and representing the American League in the World Series yet again. On the other hand, the Philadelphia Phillies, they were up 2-0. Look like they were on their way to the World Series again. And now Arizona, and 2 late inning games, y'all. 2 late inning games. Okay. Won it off a walk-off 2 days ago, Thursday, and then last night put up 3 runs in the 8th inning to actually come back and shock the Philadelphia Phillies. And so now this series is tied 2-2. Me and Jamar, as well as Lisa, last week, we just stated we wanted to just see who we wanted to see. We didn't make picks because baseball could get too tricky. And so we're going to stay away from all the trickiness. And so in this case, we just want to know, fellas, me and Jamar, we stated we wanted to see a Houston-Philly rematch. So with that being said, and I'm going to follow up with you, and then Corey, you follow up. And so, and who do you want to see in the World Series?
I'm gonna stick to that matchup. But I do have one thing to say. It's crazy you see the Rangers and the Astros playing. That's almost like, you know, that will almost be like the Cubs and the White Sox playing in the playoffs. I think that's pretty dope. That's good for that state for sure. Good for Texas for sure. But I'm gonna stick to that same matchup.
Yeah, Houston, Philly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Corey, what about you?
I definitely would want to see that matchup again with Houston and Philly. I think that's probably what most people uh, really want to see. So I think that'll be more exciting, more compelling. See those two back at it.
Yeah, yeah. If we talking ratings, etc., that'll probably be the
Yeah.
best scenario. And so, yeah. With that being said, well, let's not progress with our NFL Week 7 picks. We got some big games going on. We go with you, and you follow up, and then Corey. And so, fellas, tomorrow we got the Detroit Lions at the Baltimore Ravens. Big game tomorrow. Jamar, who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Baltimore, but this is one of those like Lions games. Like I understand they're 5-1 and they are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Their defense has been better. This is one of those environments I want to see like really show me if you are this real team. Because you will go into Baltimore, which is not an easy place to play in on the road,
Mm-hmm.
beat a Lamar Jackson team, which at times can be brilliant, at times we can have our heads, have ourselves scratching our heads, but nevertheless, it's just the whole aura of going there and beating them on the road. That's what I want to see. Therefore, until I see it, I'm Ravens.
Right. Yes. I know one thing. Baltimore receivers got to catch the damn football. And who you got, bro?
Go Baltimore on this one.
And Corey, who you got for this one?
I'm gonna take Detroit.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna take Detroit. I like Detroit in this one. Falcons at the Buccaneers. Jamar, who you got, bro?
Uh, can't believe I'm going this way. I'm gonna take Baker Mayfield and the Bucks here. And he just somehow, some way, Baker Mayfield's taking care of the ball better than the other quarterbacks. So I'm going Baker.
Yeah. And
Pains me to say this. I think I'm a. Oh, no, man, no. I'm going Falcons. I'm going Falcons. Hopefully, Cal Pitts have a big day, especially for my fantasy.
yes, absolutely, yes. Corey, who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I'm gonna take the Buccaneers on this one.
Okay. Yes, yes. And I'm gonna take the Falcons. I'm with you, in. I think the Falcons come in and they beat the Bucks tomorrow. But it'll be a very, very good game. Commanders at the Giants. Giants. What's the is Saquon Barkley playing tomorrow? Daniel Jones, I think he's still injured, right? Right, fellas? He's
So
still injured,
yeah,
Daniel
so
Jones?
I think Saquon.
he's
I think Saquon out too.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I think Saquon played last week.
He
Yeah,
played
he played
last week.
last
Yeah, yeah,
week.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought I was seeing
Okay.
some stuff about
Yeah,
him
I,
being hurt
I
again.
thought I heard something.
Yeah. But regardless, Jamar, if you had to pick, who you got for this one?
and
Tyrod Taylor came out and played a hell of a game as a backup last week. Almost won the game.
yeah, that like I would need a
That's in
segment in Ian's
Buffalo.
basement. I need a segment in Ian's basement for how I feel about Buffalo right now, but I'll leave that one alone. Uh, I guess I take the Commanders. I don't know. It's like picking great value versus Salvation Army. I don't know. I got the Commanders.
Okay, yeah. And who you got?
uh, no Daniel Jones, right? Oh, they
I
O line is trash though. I'm gonna go Commanders.
Yeah. Corey.
Oh man, I don't really know who. I, I'm just gonna go with the Commanders right now. I'm gonna say Commanders.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna go with the Commanders. I have no reason to pick the Giants. I mean, why would I pick them? Yeah. Raiders at the Bears, y'all. Raiders at our Bears. Jimmy G is playing tomorrow. Justin
no, he's
Fields
not.
look like he's out, right? And so we
Yeah,
got
he's
Tyson
out.
Bagent.
Justin's out.
Justin Fields
Um,
out.
Man, I'm just a little bothered right now, y'all, because Tyson Bagent, I love his riskiness, but that damn throw to DJ Moore at the end, even a turnover that led to a touchdown. I love the kid, his aggression. He get in the game, he's live, he's energizing, but the kid got to learn how to take care of the football and stop just being He like a Las Vegas gambler. He remind me literally, and they playing the Las Vegas Raiders tomorrow. He's a big gambler. Will his gambles pay off tomorrow, Jamar?
Who knows? This is the battle of backups. Your boy Jimmy G. I don't know when he's coming back.
Oh, okay. So in this case,
Jimmy G is
wow. So
out.
check this out. We was talking about Purdue. Oh, look at this.
But it's not O'Donnell either.
It's not O'Donnell either.
No,
It's Brian Hoyer.
Brian Hoyer.
Brian Hoyer.
Up there.
Wow. Okay. Because that's right. I did see him play last week. Now that I think about it, you're right.
Man, you know, I bear down. I guess.
Okay. I just see. I mean, can you really blame Jamar for picking the Bears? Like, we got Brian Hoyer tomorrow coming to Soldier Field. This is a team that comes from a warm weather climate to old rugged Soldier Field, which might be a little cold tomorrow. I don't blame you for picking the Bears. And who you got?
I got the Raiders. Devontae Adams going to lose his mind against us.
Yeah,
He's been complaining. Every time we've heard a receiver complain this year, they have 100 yards in next game.
It's true, though.
Devontae Adams is gonna have like what was it? It was Jamar Chase. First it was DJ Moore. DJ Moore had 8 catches for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. Then it was Jamar Chase. He had 15 catches for 190 and 3 touchdowns. It was CeeDee Lamb last week, I think. 7 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown. Devontae Adams gonna score like 3 touchdowns this week.
Oh, and then don't forget AJ Brown too. He was in there.
Oh yeah, yep. AJ Brown too. Yep. See, Devontae Adams is gonna go crazy. That secondary is trash.
Because Eddie Jackson out there, man.
Yeah,
Briscoe,
he didn't even play the whole game last week.
Why do they keep believing in this number 9 Briscoe kid?
I like him.
I like him, but as of recently, he ain't been doing nothing. To be honest, he hasn't done nothing since Roquan left.
Yeah, like Briscoe started out all right. I'm like, all right, but since Roquan left, that's a really good analogy, man. Like
he'll come down and lay the wood. Pause. He'll come down, but I mean,
yeah, that's about it. Though. When it comes to pass coverage, though, he ain't laying no wood.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Yeah, he be too quick to celebrate. I'm like, man, you ain't doing nothing. What you celebrating for?
Y'all go stop somebody on 3rd down and you done gave up 30 down points. You want to hold up your hand with the circle like you Black Power. Like, stop.
Dude, I think if you put a more competent safety next to Briscoe, I think it'd be a different story.
Yeah, for sure. I believe so.
Yeah, man, Briscoe.
I feel like he's good. I do.
No, that's good, Jamar, because I feel like he sucks right now. But you are very nice and gentle.
Brandon, you know what this morning, man.
I mean, I'm just saying that man Briscoe's hot trash. But you know, hopefully we can get somebody else on the other side like Jamar States that can help the brother out here. All right. Corey, Raiders at Bears.
I'm gonna go with the Raiders. With Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams should be the difference.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs probably gonna go crazy too.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna be stupid, man. I'm gonna pick the Bears. I think Tyson Bagent go out and do some crazy stuff, and he give us a week of just craziness in Chicago. And so I think some of them gambles maybe pay off tomorrow. So I'm gonna go with the Bears at home. They were in Vegas. The Bears wouldn't have a damn chance. All right, Bills at the Patriots. Jamar, who you got?
So I would say I should have every reason to pick the Buffalo Bills. I should, right? Because this is the Buffalo Bills team that's supposed to be elite, right? With Josh Allen, that's supposed to be a top 3 quarterback, right? Like, just because I don't have any reason to pick the Patriots, I'm gonna pick the Bills by default. But I mean, don't get me started right
now. Okay, yeah. Ian.
I mean, do we have to ask? I'm picking the Bills. The Patriots suck.
I'm telling you, come on, bro. Like, I don't even see why we wait. Like, why are we debating this?
You said Cancun on 3.
Even
Take
Corey
him there.
knows. That's how you know he's a supporter of the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. Cancun 03, damn it.
Oh man.
It would literally the Patriots. I mean, last week, y'all, if y'all remember, we was making picks, Jamar, and the teams we counted out last week, Jamar, they won last week. Real talk, bro.
They
And
did.
so,
Yeah, it
so
was a
like,
crazy
could it
week in
be
the
that
NFL
us
last week.
counting out the Patriots? They might hear about this in Boston and be like, "Hey, man, we got to prove them dudes on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast wrong."
I kid you not. If the Patriots win this game tomorrow, we leading off with that next week. I kid you not. I'm going.
All right. Yes, that'll make a lot of our supporters happy because we got supporters that are diehard Patriots fans. And, you know, right now the Patriots, I feel like they're about just as worse as we are, Corey. You know, Bears are bad, but the Patriots, I mean, look at the mouse. There's no difference. And so, yeah, man. Who'd you pick for this game, Bills or Patriots?
I want to see my boy Mac Jones do good, but I'm gonna have to pick the Bills though.
Yeah,
I gotta get my roll tide. We want to look better, but I'm gonna go Bills.
Right. Yeah. Ian, what did you say about Mac Jones when he was at Alabama?
Uh,
I think
he
you
was
stated that
okay.
he had a lot of weapons with
He
him.
had the weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Had
and
an
now that
all-star
he's in
team.
New England, right? He's
But
gonna be
you
in
know
his
what? To be
role.
honest,
But they got a defensive. They
it's
had a
not all his
defensive
fault, though.
coordinator running offense.
Yeah, it's not all his fault. That Bill Belichick is over with. You know, I think they need to part ways. So we can't blame it all on Mac, but he got a part to play. But I can't blame it all on him. I mean, they literally have no talent on offense. Like they got a whole bunch of number 2s and number 3s because they won't pay
Right.
nobody.
That's a good point. They won't pay. That's a really good point, Ian.
I got a question. When the last time the Patriots had a legitimate number one? I ain't talking about a number one receiver that plays the slot. I'm talking about a legitimate number one receiver on the outside. When the last time they had one of those?
I was in high school in 07,
There you
Randy
go.
Moss. That was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, I ain't talking about Edelman. I ain't talking about Wes Welker. I'm talking about a legitimate number.
No, we talking about
number
legitimate number one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I ain't talking about no tight end either.
No Gronk.
Right. Man, this is facts, y'all. This is facts. Yeah. And so, yeah, the Patriots, I mean, that's a really good point, and especially that money, man. And Jamar, that's a really good point. When if they really truly had a number one? So, yeah, I think we all going with the Bills here. Browns at the Colts. Browns, great defense. Colts, sadly enough, AR is out for the year. But, you know, they tend to be a well-rounded team outside of the quarterback. I mean, this is a pretty good damn football team, oddly enough. Who you got, Jamar?
I'm gonna take the Browns. Deshaun Watson is slated to play. He's back. He's back. That Browns defense. We talk about it. It's a real thing. That Browns defense. I think that's gonna be the biggest difference maker. As we know, great defense travels, right?
Yep.
And I know Minshew Mania can be one or two things, and I think it's gonna be the latter thing what I'm thinking of. So I got the Browns.
Okay. Yep. Ian.
I guess I got the Browns. Yeah, I got the Browns. I'm gonna take the Browns.
Yeah. Yep. Corey.
I'm gotta roll with the Colts. I'm a Colts guy, so I gotta stick with them. I think Minshew should be able to step up. Like I said, then we should be able to run the ball well as well. So I'm gonna go with the Colts.
Yeah, this is like, man, this is a good game. I love both of the identities of these teams. They got fantastic identities, and they are tough. They defend and they run the ball really well. And you really just got to beat both of these teams, oddly enough. I can just imagine if AR was healthy with this team. This team could be like how Kyle Orton was with the Bears his rookie year. Y'all remember we had a pretty decent team with Kyle Orton as a rookie. Purdue quarterback, by the way. And, you know, he didn't, you know, do too much. He let the defense take him there. He had a few, explosive receivers, got them the ball when it was needed, and we ran the ball well. I'm stuck, y'all. I'm gonna take the Browns, Jamar. I've been stating I believe in Cleveland. I've been stating I believe in Indianapolis, but I'm gonna go with the Browns. I can see why you picked the Colts, Corey. I swear, I promise I can see why you picked the Colts. Yeah, still is at the Rams. Jamar, who you got?
I'm taking the Rams.
Yeah,
They not gonna stop Cooper or Puka or Tutu
yeah,
or
right.
any one of those names.
The Rams are starting to look like the old Rams, and that's scary. And
I'm gonna take the Rams.
yeah, Corey.
I'm gonna go Rams on this one too.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna go to Rams. Man, Cooper Kupp, that dude can play. That dude can play. I mean, he's fantastic. He is a really, really, really good wide receiver, really good football player. Jamar, Cardinals, Seahawks. Cardinals going to pull out I don't know if this. Yeah, it'll be an upset. So who you got? You got Cardinals or Seahawks?
I'm taking Seattle.
Yeah,
I don't think they're gonna be stopping Kenneth, who I call Skywalker here. They're not stopping.
right. Yeah. Ian,
Seattle.
Corey.
I'm gonna go Seattle here too.
Yeah, go Seattle too. Cardinals, they just find ways to lose games. Packers at the Broncos. Who you got for this one, Jamar?
Man, so I'm trying not to speak with a bias, mind here. I'm trying not to. The Broncos give me every reason not to speak with a biased mind here. Oh my gosh. But screw it. I must be sipping the Kool-Aid this morning. I'm taking Broncos.
I mean, no, bro. I see your point. Like, this is one of those picks where if you take a chance, take a chance on this one. I mean, Jordan Love has a very young core around him. His young wide receiver, Christian Watson, is young. That's his best receiver. His team is young, and he's young.
Yeah. Playing in Mount High is not the easiest thing in the world. But in general, it's not. Altitude, all that stuff.
Right.
Russ and them on the hot seat. Something got to give, right?
Right. And who you got for the rematch of the 1998 Super Bowl?
Whew.
Yeah, I remember that Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Great Super Bowl too. John Elway first ring. Broncos country left right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Corey?
I'm going to go Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to go Green Bay.
I'm going to go Green Bay. The way the Broncos, I mean, not that Green Bay look great, but the way the Broncos looking, I'm going to go Green Bay.
Right. If I had to pick somebody to win and not tie, I'm going to have to pick Green Bay. The Chargers at the Chiefs. Chargers, 2-3. This ain't good. If they lose tomorrow and they continue to lose, could Brandon Staley be on the hot seat? Who you got for this one, Jamar?
Brandon Staley should have been fired after last year's playoff game. That should have happened. He go to a 20-minute spiel on that. As good as the Chargers could be, I'm almost ready to propose a Cancun on 3 on this one.
Yeah, I'm ready if y'all are. Corey, I don't know how you feel about this end. You guys got the Chargers in an upset or what?
No, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. The Chargers, like, they tried to get some pieces, but it's not working. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
Yeah, Cancun on 3. I think we all got the Chiefs. Chargers, I think, put up a good game though. I mean, the Chargers did have the Chiefs numbers last year. Remember, y'all?
Yeah,
they indeed had that number last year.
They did, but the Chiefs defense is playing so much better.
They are, and they're holding them down. Patrick Mahomes ain't even doing much, but he is getting that chemistry back with his receivers now. They look good. They 5-1.
And I'm starting to actually learn some defensive player names on the Chiefs defense outside of Chris Jones. I'm starting to learn some names now.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And shout out to you, bro. Like, after that week 1 game, you told everybody pipe down. the Chiefs will be just fine. They'll get it together. And slowly but low key, in 5 weeks later, 5 wins in a row. Here they are. Um,
Yep.
yeah. Dolphins at the Eagles. Sunday night, heavyweight.
Mm.
Who you got for this one? Jamar.
Whew. I'm not gonna lie to you. They had us in the first half because I don't even know. I've been contemplating who to pick with this game all week. But I'm going to take the team that has probably looked the best the whole year so far. I'm going to take the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I don't have the warm and fuzzies about that either, but I'm more believer in the Dolphins than with the eye test than I have been the Eagles this year.
Okay. Do the weather play a factor here, fellas? 11 degrees, I think is the just about 20 some degrees tomorrow. I don't know if it matters, but who you got for this one, Em?
What was the teams again?
Dolphins at Eagles.
It's a tough one, but I'm gonna go Eagles. I think the defense show up tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Eagles.
It's very
I hope
interesting.
you're right.
Potentially a Super Bowl matchup.
Potentially, yeah. And it's very interesting that the Dolphins, they won their games on the road outside of Buffalo, but they went to Buffalo, a really decent team, and they got whooped up there. So, Corey, who you got for this one, Dolphins or Eagles?
Man, I know Hurts probably still got a chip on his shoulder. The Eagles, everything I'm saying, the Eagles defense probably look good, but I'm gonna go with the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Eagles at home. I think the Eagles pull this one out in a really, really good game, and I think actually they forced Tua to make a mistake. Niners at the Vikings. Kirk Cousins.
No.
Show me the money, Kirk.
So is this?
Cancun? I'm already booked the flight.
Cancun on 3.
Flight, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we good. We good.
You see the background.
Exactly.
Nah, we're not gonna do this.
And so flipping to the background, here we go. There's the background. And so yes. Wow, yeah. Cancun on 3. And so with that being said, and I don't know if you got something for us, but we want to check in. You got something for us for Ian's basement
I
this
got
morning?
a couple. Yeah, I got a couple things.
Okay.
And I got a new segment on mine too. I'm gonna start doing every
All right,
time.
bro.
So, Nick Irvin, former Morgan Park head basketball coach. He's an assistant coach now at Arizona State. That was big. I seen that
he
the
got
other day.
promoted.
Yeah, congratulations to him. Mark Jackson will be the Knicks broadcaster this upcoming season. The new #1 recruit in the nation, Jeremiah Smith, is committed to Ohio State, and we got some big. He's got Simeon Morgan Park today. Crete Monier and Kankakee, St. Francis and Nazareth. St. Rita and Brother Rice, they played last night. I believe Brother Rice won 42-21, I believe. Lincoln Way East and Bolingbrook. Lincoln Way East is #4 in the state. And the biggest game today, #1 Mount Carmel versus #2 Loyola. That's going to be a big game today.
Okay.
Yeah,
and they up in the north suburbs, or they at Mount Carmel, or they at a neutral stadium? Do you know?
They play at Loyola today.
Okay, they in the north suburbs.
Play Loyola today. Okay. Yep. So I got a question. So I'll have this type of question like every week. I'll just switch up the sports. So today is basketball. So my question is, would you rather have 2018 LeBron or 2012 LeBron? So 2018 LeBron is the LeBron that beat the
Celtics.
That beat the Celtics when Kyrie was hurt, and he almost won Finals MVP without winning the game in the finals.
Right.
Or are you taking 2012 LeBron, the first championship against Russ and KD and those guys?
Man. So Jamar, you go, but I got my answer.
Yeah, I'm taking 2012 LeBron. I just feel like LeBron, at that point in his career, that was probably peak LeBron, especially on the defensive end. That man
Yeah,
was a monster guarding everybody. And when he
yeah,
wanted to, he would lock anybody down and then turn around and give you
25.
30 and posterize the likes of John Lucas and everybody else. So, yeah, 2012 LeBron for me.
Yeah,
Corey.
I'm gonna take 2018 LeBron. I think he was more polished then, more confident in his jump shot at that point. Sometimes maybe too confident in it, but I'm gonna take I'll take 2018 LeBron.
Yeah, I'm gonna take 2018 LeBron. I mean, do we remember that playoff run he was on in? He
yeah.
was
He had a hell of a run.
unstoppable.
Yeah, he
I
was hitting
mean,
game winners, and it was no, all he had was basically was Kevin Love, George Hill, J.R.
like
Smith.
Jordan Hill, really Jordan Hill.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna take 2018 too, because I just think his all around game, like he stated, his jump shot was his jump shot was there. He was still athletic, and he literally carried that team, man. For him to, I mean, even in the finals, he was incredible, and they got swept. He was incredible. I mean, they just went up against
35
a
every
better
game. I
team.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
man. I think he averaged a triple double. I mean, he had 51, and I think he had 51 game one. I
yeah,
mean, he was incredible. I mean, and to almost still be considered for Finals MVP and not even win a game in the
Not even
finals,
win.
that's
yeah,
crazy.
that's impressive. But 2012 LeBron was crazy though.
It
Like
was crazy. It was
he
crazy.
was crazy
I feel like
athletic.
DeMar
Like he
taking
was
2012. Yeah,
he was jumping over, looking at over the rim. Like it was crazy.
right.
The
Yep.
reason why the Bulls didn't go to the finals, but yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, but I'm gonna do a question like that, every week. I'm gonna just switch up the sports. It may be baseball, maybe football, basketball, whatever. I'm gonna do that. I think it's a cool debate.
That's what's up,
Just
bro.
do
That's
Hey,
different
dope.
players.
I love it.
Yeah, that is dope. Yeah, and shout out to LeBron. He is heading into y'all year 21, and
That's
it's
insane.
amazing. Yeah,
That's
it's
insane.
just amazing, man. It's so yes, world. Thank y'all. We are now at a very important part of our podcast. Final thoughts and shout outs. And so we head into the weekend. We always want to give final thoughts and shout outs, and we usually start out with our guests. And so, Corey, as we head into the weekend, any final thoughts or shout outs as we head into the weekend?
Man, just final thoughts. Are just looking forward to this NBA season starting next week. I think it should be one of the most exciting seasons that we've seen. At least the anticipation is there this year. So pretty
Mhm.
much just getting ready for just to see all the pieces how they blend together and the last minute moves that the team's making. They trimming the rosters down. I'm looking at people getting cut now. So yeah, just looking forward to that this NBA season kicking off.
Yes, sir. Yes. Jamar, any final thoughts or shout outs as we head into the weekend?
Yeah, definitely got two. One, first and foremost, Corey, thank you for joining us this morning. We love to have you back on again, my brother.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. We'll definitely love to do it again.
Sir.
Absolutely. Second, I kind of like was spilling a little bit earlier when we should have did a Cancun on 3 with that Bills Patriots. But look, the Buffalo Bills, I mean, it might have been mentioned a few times before in the past, but look, ever since that 13-second, whatever game you want to call it against the Chiefs, it has not been there. And Brandon, you know how I felt about Bills Mafia at one point in time. I'm like, this is going to be it. This is going to be it. But this is where we kind of mentioned earlier in the show, like, championship windows closing and stuff. And I kind of like mentioned earlier, like, if somebody is great, like Wemby, if he's going to really be that guy, like, it's going to like pretty much pass up the next on other people that we think that's great. That's probably never going to win. And it's starting to look like that for the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen here. Because when we originally saw Joe Burrow last year and maybe the season before, Joe Burrow like basically taking the spot of Josh Allen as Buffalo Bills team that's supposed to be great. And now we've seen the Miami Dolphins. So at what point in time is the Buffalo Bills supposed to take that next step and get into the AFC, actually get into the Super Bowl? Because you still got Kansas City. Like I know Cincinnati had a rough start, but they're starting to turn around. and you got the Miami Dolphins. That's at least 3 teams right there that I don't think not any one of them. I think all 3 of them is better than the Bills, even though Miami lost to them. I still believe Miami's a better team on neutral field. So therefore, like, this is it. Like, you got the Madden cover, Josh Allen, but is that all that we're gonna be knowing you for as a Madden cover? So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Something to think about with Bills Mafia. Absolutely. Ian, bro, any final thoughts or shout outs as we head into the weekend?
Yeah, shout out to Corey for coming on with us this morning. Great show once again, fellas. Man, we got basketball coming up. We got all the sports in full swing. NBA's coming back. Shout out to my girl Asia Wilson, another chip back to back. High school, a lot of high school football games this weekend. College football games, big college football games. NFL. It's a great time to be a sports fan, man. Enjoy sports. And be safe. Enjoy your weekend. It looks like it's gonna be a pretty decent weekend on the weather side. So yeah, enjoy your weekend. Be safe.
Yes, absolutely. And just to head back on everything you guys said, Corey, thank you for joining us, my brother. It was truly a pleasure, man, to have you on. Thank you for bringing us to just another level of conversation, because you took us places in the NBA that we usually don't talk about. And so we appreciate that, for talking about the Lakers, for talking about the expectations, etc., outside of just our Bulls or just the Celtics, etc. So appreciate you, man, for being on this morning with us. It was a fantastic conversation. And as you stated be safe, keep God first. And with God, all things are possible. With God, all things are possible. So we appreciate you all for rocking with us this morning on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. And we hope you all have a blessed and safe weekend. Peace.
All right, y'all. Be blessed.